on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining me right here on Off the Script. Got a little bit of extra for you on this Wednesday, March 25th, 2020, and we got some major news that could not wait to be talked about in regards to Wrestlemania. Got major news on Orlando completely shutting down, which will affect WWE TV tapings after Thursday. I got major news on that, and two WWE superstars in quarantine over the outbreak, and they have been removed from WrestleMania 36 and all tapings moving forward. Major news that could not wait. I wanted to give you guys all the information up front before we get into Wednesday night's shows, because as of right now, I'm assuming as I record this, WrestleMania is currently being filmed inside the Performance Center. They have no choice but to film, and it's going to be going on today and tomorrow. So we're going to give you guys all the updated information as it pertains to WrestleMania. Again, thank you guys so much for joining me on the podcast. I am JD. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206. That's on Twitter and Instagram. I'll see you guys on Twitter for AEW Dynamite tonight. There will be a show. Two matches announced. We got Kenny Omega versus Sammy Guevara. I believe Omega is defending the AAA World Championship. And Cody Rhodes will be going one-on-one with Jimmy Havoc. And Chris Jericho and Matt Hardy will have a face-to-face tonight on Dynamite. That in itself is worth the price of admission. So join me later tonight at JDfromNY206 on Twitter and Instagram. Hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on that bell for all notifications. If you guys want to check out all the other content that I've posted, you guys can go back to last Friday with SmackDown Off the Script this past weekend with episode 318. Monday Night Raw on Monday, and then I live streamed Doom Eternal for 2 hours yesterday afternoon. Go and check all that stuff out, linked down below in the description of this very video. If you guys want to show some extra appreciation for what I do here on the channel and the work that goes into the podcast, patreon.com/JDfromNY206. And as always, sponsored today for the podcast is Audible, audibletrial.com/offthescript. If you guys need something to do, Audible has got you covered because they're giving everybody listening to the podcast 30 days free of their service, including one free audiobook of your choice. So take advantage of that offer. audibletrial.com/offthescript. Let's get right into the news, guys. The Orlando mayor is issuing a lockdown for Orange County, the central county in Orlando, Florida, and will order all residents to stay at home. This is the latest effort to contain the outbreak, and the order to have everybody stay at home. Stay-at-home order will take effect at 11 p.m. on Thursday evening. The order prohibits anybody from leaving their home unless they are making trips to work for essential business, the grocery store, the pharmacy, or outdoor activities, exercise, walking, jogging, bike riding, as long as you are adhering to that social distancing. Yes, I get it. I've been adhering to the social distancing. But I went to the supermarket yesterday, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't see any social distancing going on. I'm seeing everybody just wearing the masks. Looks like a fucking war zone. And I'm thinking to myself, man, this social distancing, yeah, I get why they're pushing the social distancing. But this social distancing is going to, I feel, make humans hate other human beings or dislike other human beings more so than they already do. It's like you're looking at the guy next to you standing in line, and you're looking at him with such disdain, like, you hate this fucking guy. What if this guy's gonna cough on me or sneeze in the other direction? You know? You don't want to hear any of that shit now. You don't want to see any of that shit. I feel like humans are more repulsed by other human beings more now than ever before. Stay away from me. Stay away from me. Right? I'm usually like that in everyday life. Not just now. But it just dawned on me while I was in the supermarket yesterday that we all genuinely and generally hate each other now. It's crazy. It's really crazy. Now, the order will be in effect for 2 weeks, which essentially makes it much more difficult for WWE to tape television. Fortunately for WWE, all of their tapings leading up to WrestleMania will be done by Thursday. And the WrestleMania matches will be taped on Thursday and obviously today as I'm recording this just before the order takes effect. Now, there are at least 50 confirmed cases in the Orlando area. It's an understatement to say it's spreading, says Mayor Jerry Demings said on Thursday. Sorry if I butchered his name. Demings. He added that this is for the good of the country. And, again, it will go effect 11 p.m. on Thursday night. In addition to the pre-WrestleMania shows, WWE is also taping the Raw After Mania today, so they have some time before they need to worry about the next set of shows. You know what I don't get? Now, looking back at everything, were we really wrong to butcher WWE's decisions? Were we wrong to think that WWE was just doing this for the sake of doing this and putting the roster in harm's way? You can have any opinion you would like about this situation. There are people who are going to side with WWE that don't fault WWE, that thinks WWE is handling this the best that they could possibly do. There are others that don't want to see WrestleMania happen because it's not WrestleMania. It's going to have a huge asterisk next to its name. Some people want it completely canceled. Some people want it postponed. I've mentioned June. WWE doesn't have a pay-per-view in June currently scheduled. They could move right on into Madison Square Garden. But then comes the uncertainty. We don't know if New York City will allow mass gatherings by June. We don't know if life will be back to normal by Easter, is what Donald Trump, our president of the United States, is saying. He wants everybody to be back to living their normal daily life by Easter Sunday. Is that possible? I hope so. I hope so. Looking back at it, were we wrong to shit on WWE for all that they did? I don't think so. I really don't think so. There clearly is a motive and an agenda to get it out. They could wait if they wanted to. They could postpone WrestleMania. The Olympics have been postponed for 1 year in Tokyo, Japan. They're not happening this summer. They're happening next summer. I don't think we'll be in the stay-at-home order. I don't think we'll be in quarantine for an entire year. I think that's completely ridiculous. But WWE, again, you know, everything is locked down. We don't know when the MLB season is going to happen. We don't know if the NHL season will resume. We don't know if the NBA season will resume. We don't know if the PGA Tour will resume. We don't know if the tennis events, the USA Open, the US Open, Wimbledon, you know, the events that happen over the spring and summer, we don't know if they're going to be postponed or happening at all. We don't know if anything. All of these major sport events, UFC has even shut down. Dana White shut everything down. And I stated it off the script 2 weeks ago, I feel like Vince McMahon's playing God. And all the reports came out that Vince McMahon is not going to let this stop him from doing what he wants to do. He's not going to let the outbreak stop him from doing what he wants to do. Mark Henry even elaborated on this. And I took this quote from Busted Open. There's been speculation that WWE are looking to pre-tape WrestleMania. This was before all the news came out that, indeed, WrestleMania was being pre-taped for WrestleMania 36. For the first time ever, the show will be taking place over 2 days with no fans in attendance, taped. I think that if you canceled it, you would be conceding, says Mark Henry. You will be letting the outbreak win. It's exactly what the government wanted. They don't give a fuck. This is exactly what they wanted. Everything is shut down. The outbreak had already won. And then, on top of that, the government is fear-mongering, and they win. So the government and the virus win because they are now controlling you to stay home and telling you what you cannot do anymore. Normal daily life ceased to exist because of fear and uncertainty. That's what they did. So he says, you'll be letting the outbreak win. And I mean, knowing Vince McMahon, he's not going to let the outbreak win. He is undefeated. He's not going to allow it, man. Mark Henry elaborated further, saying, I just know it, and I think that is good for the hope of the people. It's good for the morale of all the people that love pro wrestling. Is it? Is it? I don't know. Whose morale is it good for? Or is the roster sitting back and thinking, man, I can't wait to go out there and perform? Do they want to perform? Guarantee you, if you poll that entire roster, if they want WrestleMania to happen or would they rather WrestleMania be postponed, I think 99.9% of the roster would want it to be postponed. And there was a report from WrestleVotes saying that the majority of the roster would want it to be postponed. And I gave you every reason why the roster would want it to be postponed. You think Edge wanted to come back after 9 years and do what he's doing now in front of an empty fucking arena? You think Drew McIntyre wanted to win his first ever WWE Championship at a WrestleMania in a main event in front of no audience? I don't understand why you would think those guys want that. I don't understand why you guys think that they would be happy with this. Right? They didn't want it to be canceled. I don't think any of them wanted it to be outright canceled. That would mean the biggest payday of their year. But how much of this and the show happening is already affecting their bottom line? No merchandise, no ticket sales, right? Vince McMahon's getting his insurance money back. Is he paying his roster what they usually make at WrestleMania to perform in front of an empty arena? Probably not. Probably not. They're going about business. They might get a little bonus, but it's not going to be anywhere near what they're usually getting at a WrestleMania. I would hope they're getting bonuses for working fucking overtime, trying to get everything out in 2 days, 3 days. Constant back-to-back tapings on Saturday, Sunday. Then you got a live Raw on Monday. Then NXT taped. And then you got WrestleMania. WrestleMania on Wednesday and Thursday. And that, my God, the extent of the fucking tapings, the extent of the headaches going into that. I hope that they get compensated for what they're doing and the time that they're putting in and the stress that I'm sure management and Vince is giving out during these trying times, because now they're on a deadline. Now, against all of that they're already dealing with, now they're on a deadline. Before all of this was announced and the tapings were announced, they didn't have a deadline. Now they have a deadline. Unbelievable. Now, the morale of all the people that love pro wrestling, I think the majority of the fucking people are fed up. To be perfectly honest with you, I'm fed up, you're fed up. I'm fed up with the way WWE is handling all of this. They're lazy, they're unproductive, they are just, and it's coming off that way. WWE is coming off in a way where they are simply doing what they're doing to just get it out. It's like, it doesn't even matter anymore. Let's just get it out. They'll enjoy it because it's WrestleMania. They'll enjoy it because it's the only wrestling on at the moment. Everything else is off TV. There's nothing else on TV. There's no live sporting events. They'll appreciate it. Now, I'm not saying that WWE is going to handle WrestleMania like they handled SmackDown and Raw, because those shows have been fucking abominations. They've been abysmal. And when I start pulling out those words, you know that they're fucking bad. I mean, look at the ratings for Monday Night Raw from this past Monday. The lowest they have been. And it's WrestleMania season. I don't give a fuck what's going on in the world. It's still WrestleMania season, folks. The lowest they've been since December of 2019. You think WWE would have changed the way that they did things? Of course they didn't. Rerun after rerun after rerun. I don't give a fuck what you show on the WWE Network. I could go on my own time whenever I want to during my day and go back and watch a 2015 triple threat match with John Cena, Seth Rollins, and Brock Lesnar. I could go back and watch, even though I won't because it's not worth a second viewing, and I was not giving them my view even on Monday as they integrated into the show. Charlotte versus Asuka at WrestleMania 34. I could go back and watch those matches anytime I want. Why are you showing me matches that have A, absolutely nothing to do with the WrestleMania build, and B, why would you think fans are going to be interested in watching classic matches or matches that happened 3, 4, 5, 6 years ago on a show where they're wanting new content. Don't you think fans are going to get a little pissed off? And don't you think fans are going to say, what the fuck am I sitting here watching this for? If this is WWE's effort, then my effort is to pick up the remote control and shut the fucking TV off. I'll go read a book. I'll go play some PS4. I'll go take a walk. You know? I'll go to sleep. Why are you expecting fans to watch this shit? Now, I don't expect WWE to do that with WrestleMania. I expect them to hopefully, I'm keeping my fingers crossed here. I'm hoping that they go outside the box and give me something in terms of a WrestleMania that somewhat resembles a WrestleMania. WWE could take WrestleMania this year and make it better than the last couple of WrestleManias that we've seen. If they fucking try. But they're certainly not getting any fucking faith in me or from me for WrestleMania. I'm not giving them any of my trust because look at what they've done in the midst of this outbreak. They haven't even tried. So what makes you think that I should sit here and give them the benefit of the doubt for putting on a good WrestleMania? You can't. You can't. At that point, you are a glorified cocksucker. That's it. They've done nothing this entire WrestleMania season to make you think that they're going to turn around and give you a WrestleMania when we all know it isn't a WrestleMania. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. Now, Mark Henry finished by talking about the proposed travel bans between Canada and the United States, possibly stopping WWE superstars from getting to Orlando for WrestleMania. There was a report going around that Lesnar might not be able to get into the United States, but you know, obviously he's essential for business. He's a employee of the WWE. I don't think he'd A, even have a problem, and B, he's not going to be traveling commercial airlines. This guy's going to hop in his private jet, and he's going to fly to Orlando, and he's going to go about business. He's not flying with anybody else but his pilots and Paul Heyman. And his wife, if they want to tag along, which is probably just Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar. So Lesnar's not going to have any problems coming in from Saskatchewan to do work for WWE. That was everybody's, worry earlier in the week. We could be in the next couple of weeks shut that down. So that would mean that everybody that's able to wrestle, will not be able to wrestle because there might be travel bans from other countries. There might be travel bans from, other states. They might restrict all travel in general. In order for that to keep happening, all of those talents are going to have to basically be stationed in Orlando. Most of them live in the Florida area anyway. Otherwise, they won't be able to travel from home to, the facility in Orlando. So, there's a lot of things that we could look at with this pandemic. Now, looking back at it, like I mentioned before, it's easy for us to sit here. It's easy for us as podcasters to say, yeah, move WrestleMania to June. Move WrestleMania to June. There's no pay-per-view in June. Slide on into those MSG DMs, right? It's easy to say, let's hold the event at Madison Square Garden. I've even heard some people give the ridiculous notion of, why don't we just cancel SummerSlam and make WrestleMania in August? Sounds like a good idea. What the fuck is SummerSlam to me and you anyway? These events don't even resemble what they used to. So, WrestleMania is the worst show of the entire year. I don't know what the fucking hype and pageantry is about WrestleMania. It's a glorified fucking agenda for 8 hours. It's WWE's way of pushing what they want and not giving the fans what we want. And if you think WWE gave us what we wanted last year, folks, they didn't. They were forced to give us what we wanted last year. Not going to go over that bullshit again. But people were saying outlandishly, let's cancel SummerSlam. I don't even think that's even humanly possible. What are you going to do with all those ticket sales and travel packages already that have already been purchased, right? Yeah, you're moving the Hall of Fame to SummerSlam. The Hall of Fame is the Hall of Fame. It's a standalone thing. It could stand on its own 2 feet. If WWE wanted to hold a Hall of Fame ceremony somewhere on a random week, they could do that. It doesn't have to be in conjunction with any event. They could do it whatever the fuck they could hold it on Monday Night Raw if they wanted to. It doesn't fucking matter, right? They can't cancel SummerSlam, even though I would not mind because I said these shows don't resemble what they used to anyway. When was the last time you really felt it was SummerSlam? When was the last time you felt of leaving your evening barbecue to go home and watch pro wrestling? Never. The last time I truly felt it was SummerSlam was Jesus Christ, man. I don't even remember. Back in 1993, 1994, the Lex Express, Undertaker vs. Undertaker, that Owen Brett steel cage match, Walter Payton out there with fucking Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels and Diesel. You know, that's when I felt it was SummerSlam. The Boiler Room Brawl, you know, Lesnar versus The Rock. That's when I felt. Shawn Michaels versus HBK unsanctioned. That's when I felt it was SummerSlam. I haven't felt that way in fucking 20 years. So what's the difference? Yes, I get it. They can't do that because of the travel packages. I'm pretty sure SummerSlam sold out. I don't see why it wouldn't be. I mean, you got 16,000 fucking idiots wanting to go see a 7-hour SummerSlam show. WWE's travel packages are already sold for SummerSlam, and I'm assuming the price difference between a SummerSlam travel package, tickets to SummerSlam, are vastly different compared to a WrestleMania travel package regular ticket. I'm assuming, right? So you can't really do that when the show's already kind of sold out. So yeah, in theory, yeah, it's not like a video game where you could just say, oh, I'm going to go into the options setting and make WrestleMania now in August. Can't do that. Looking back at it, are we right to shit on the WWE? I'll shit on the WWE whenever I want. They aren't immune to me shitting on them. They have not handled this situation well at all. And Vince McMahon is a greedy fucking cocksucker. You know? Hasn't taken the morale and the well-being of his roster in mind. He has done nothing but show his selfishness to get the event out there for whatever monetary reason. And I just don't stand by them. Yeah, they're giving me a show. I'm grateful that I have work on Saturday and Sunday nights. Whether it's good or bad, I will be here to cover it. I'm glad about that. But have I been too hard on them? I don't think so. I don't think so. There's always something to complain about. You know, I'm not going to just look at the fucking one thing, oh, they're putting on a show for you. Yeah, I have already stated I appreciate the roster going out there and doing what they're doing in the midst of all of this, putting themselves in danger and trying to work hard for us to give us a sense of WrestleMania, because they want a sense of WrestleMania. And they know we want it too, but that doesn't mean that I have to support the fucking suits and ties running the company. That's where my problem lies. In their decisions, in their business decisions. That's where my problems lie. You know, and I've already talked about this on Off the Script. I feel like Vince McMahon is playing God. He wants to be God when the entire world has shut down. Every sports organization has ceased to exist, yet here he is. Here he is. WrestleMania is greater than all. Meanwhile, he could have just fell in line with everybody else, did the right thing. I do not think anybody would have really criticized him for it, and we could come up with a plan B. This is what I don't understand as well, a plan B. I think Vince McMahon would have been a little bit more well-respected if we went with a true postponement. And this is what I don't get. You know, a lot of people are saying, well, we don't know when the pandemic is going to stop, and we don't know about all the uncertainty. You can't just say June. This could last till July and August and September. This could go into next year's WrestleMania. Really? Why would you even think along those lines? You do realize that if what we're doing now, and we're stationed at home, stay at home, quarantined, curfews, all businesses operating under takeout or curbside pickup only, that you're only allowed to go out and do the essentials, grocery shopping and pharmacies and all that, right? You do realize that if all of what we're dealing with now and all these businesses being closed now and the economy completely shut down, mega businesses, everybody working from home, you do realize that if this lasts April, May, June, July, like, you're all being programmed to think the world is over. This is something we as a economy will never come back from. My kids, my future kids, their future kids will be fucking trying to repair all this bullshit. It is not even possible for the government to shut down everything and keep everything off for the amount of time that you're thinking. It's over at that point. Everything that we know now, every company that we love, everybody that is employed by these companies, done. Why would you think that? Why would you want that out in the air? Why would you have this level of uncertainty knowing that if it does happen, we're finished? You will never have a job again. Never. Is that what you want? Is that what you want? I certainly don't want it. I'm hearing President Trump wants everybody back to daily life, regular life by Easter Sunday. I fucking pray to God it happens. I hope so. Because I think this shit is completely overblown in its current state as it sits now anyway. I really do. I can't even fathom an economy on shutdown until after the summer. You know? I love going to Atlantic City in the summer. Everything I love about the summer resides in Atlantic City. The beaches, the beach bars, the fucking booming businesses. I hate the crowds, but that's another story. I just don't like people in general. But the life and the busyness and the fucking vibe and everybody having fun, and it's a beach town. You go down to Atlantic City now, completely a ghost town. If that lasts the way it does, Atlantic City will cease to exist. Casinos are completely shut down. You drive by the casinos, barricaded as if it's a fucking zombie apocalypse. It is scary to look at. Those casinos are the way that they are for 6, 7, 8 months. Done. The city is dead. You cannot think that way. Oh, it's going to be shut down, so Vince doesn't have any choice. Well, I honestly think that he should take a choice, because I don't think the government is going to allow what's happening now to continue for 6, 7 months. So in a worst-case scenario, he could have postponed it and salvaged whatever was left of WrestleMania. That's just the way I think. Now, you may think otherwise. You may live in fear because of what the box tells you to do. You may live in fear because of what some fucking politically driven scumbag says on CNN or Fox or whatever major news channel you're watching. I don't watch the news because I know it's all bullshit. They will instill fear in you. And that's what they want. They want you to live in uncertainty. The government cannot allow this to continue past the date that Donald Trump wants everybody back to living a normal life. I hope it's Easter Sunday. They already said, who said it? Cuomo. Mayor Cuomo in New York. Or governor, mayor, whatever the fuck he is. You know, he said 80% of the people are going to get the outbreak anyway. They're going to get ill anyway. So if 80% of the fucking people are going to get it anyway, stop restricting my normal life. Let me get it. Let me get sick. Let me heal up and let me go about my daily life. I don't give a shit. If I'm going to get sick, let me get sick. Don't take away what I love to do. Don't take away people's jobs. Don't close businesses if 80% of the fucking people are going to get it anyway. It's ridiculous, man. Absolutely. You hear these contradicting reports every time something breaks on this shit. Could Vince have postponed it? Yes. I would have respected Vince more if he postponed it. But it's all for his own pocket is the reason why he's doing it. He doesn't need to do it. They don't have to go through what they're going through now. They didn't even have fun with the fucking shows we got. Why would anybody have any faith in them doing the right thing for WrestleMania 36? Too big for one night. Yeah. It's too much garbage for one night. That's the new motto. So we'll see what happens with WrestleMania. It might not even be completed by the time the stay-at-home order goes into effect in Orlando. It's going to be very interesting. I'll monitor it. Any more news on it, I will give you guys the update on Friday's OTS 319. 2 WWE stars were quarantined. Matches for WrestleMania have been changed. The United States Championship match will not happen at WrestleMania. It was supposed to be Rey Mysterio and Andrade, I do believe. That will not happen. Andrade defending his title against Rey Mysterio was the plan. Several weeks ago, there was a leaked card that showed Andrade defending the title in a fatal four-way against Rey Mysterio, Angel Garza, and Humberto Carrillo. The plan appeared to change last week, and it looked like Andrade versus Mysterio is now axed. Now, this has changed because, as noted on Wrestling Observer Live by Dave Meltzer, Rey Mysterio is quarantined. This came out of nowhere. Meltzer said there was a lot of different ideas, multiple different ideas for the U.S. title match. From last week, the main idea was probably going to be Andrade and Rey. Rey is also in quarantine, so he's off the show. You got to be safe rather than sorry for sure. So, this is what I don't understand. A, the United States title is meaningless. It really is. They could have easily had a United States Championship match. I mean, just as easy as they came up with Aleister Black versus Bobby Lashley, they could have come up with Andrade versus anybody, really, for the United States Championship. So I don't know what the reasoning behind the United States title not being... You could have did Andrade versus Garza. Simple. You could have did a triple threat match with Humberto, Garza, and Andrade. That's what I would have did. So now you're looking at the match of Street Profits versus Andrade and Garza. I don't really give a shit about Humberto Carrillo, but now he's off the show, and he is now shit out of luck. Now he doesn't have a WrestleMania spot. So if you want to look at that way, if you're a fan of Humberto, now he's off WrestleMania because of the original plans being canceled. Now, another thing I'm thinking about, if Rey Mysterio is ill, and he is of illness, and he's quarantined now, by logic, shouldn't Andrade be quarantined as well, or shouldn't they be monitoring Andrade, being that he was in the ring with Rey Mysterio last week if Rey Mysterio felt ill? So, I don't know how any of this works. I don't know what WWE's protocol is. I am assuming that they are having regular tests every single day, maybe multiple times a day, taking the temperatures of their superstars to see if they have any fever or any symptoms. You know, Rey Mysterio, we don't even know what Rey Mysterio has. Rey Mysterio could have just a common cold. And Rey Mysterio could have whatever, you know. We don't know if he has it, but the regular common cold doesn't really show symptoms. You got about 2 days where it's like in that incubation period, and you know you don't really feel any different, but you could be spreading the cold to somebody else. You know, I hope it's just that, and I hope that they're just taking mega precaution here with Rey Mysterio, having him sit at home and do what he's got to do to get better. Hopefully he is, and hopefully he is 100% in a couple of weeks and comes back from this. But Andrade, realistically, you know, they might want to keep an eye on Andrade now, being that he was in the ring with Rey Mysterio. Now, Andrade might not be showing symptoms yet. Who's to say that he will show symptoms? We don't know. He could not show symptoms at all. In fact, he could be okay. But WWE, I'm sure, is monitoring Andrade and everybody else, and Garza and Ricochet and Cedric Alexander, everybody that he was in contact with in the ring, because there clearly wasn't no social distancing on Monday Night Raw between these four guys. But I'm sure they're monitoring and they're taking the temperatures of everybody regularly, multiple times a day, to make sure everybody is okay and up to standard. And then with everybody going into lockdown anyway, you know, after Thursday, they go back in lockdown, they are at home, they quarantine, they get better, and hopefully nobody on the roster is with the outbreak, okay? Now, Meltzer explained why the original plans changed for the Raw Tag Team Championship match between Andrade and Garza now getting the spot to the original plan. AOP was probably going to go up against the Street Profits, but Razor tore his bicep, so he's out. That would have made sense, being that the Profits and the AOP, who were with Rollins, you know, it made sense per storyline there because the Profits were involved there. It did make sense. It came out of nowhere, but this is what you got. It's just reacting to circumstances, and shit happens. Now, I don't really give a shit. To be honest with you, we could shit on the Andrade and Garza challenging the Street Profits all we want. Yes, it doesn't make sense. Yes, it diminishes even further the United States Championship. But I would have never had a tag team title match to begin with on the show. They wanted to. They were still in that mentality of getting everybody on the show. And that's what I don't like. But they want to get everybody on the show. They want to do 8-9 matches per night. Fine. Whatever. So You could shit on her all you want. The fact of the matter is, Garza and Andrade versus the Street Profits is going to be immensely better than Akam and Razor of AOP versus the Street Profits. So I just think it's going to be a better match, even though it does not make sense. So yes, if I was to choose one or the other, I would clearly take what they are giving us now. It's just something out of left field. It makes everybody look like a complete buffoon. You know? They won the right to challenge the Street Profits by beating Cedric Alexander and Ricochet. If you don't find a problem in that, then you are a complete idiot. It doesn't make sense. The end result is fine. But the way that we got there doesn't make sense. And if it's that outlandish, I'd rather it not happen at all. That's just my opinion. Now, Dana Brooke is also in quarantine. She was pulled from the six-pack elimination challenge match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Dana Brooke was in the match. She is now out of the match, Meltzer said. She's in quarantine right now. They don't want to take any chances. They pulled her from the match because she's sick. They are concerned, so there you go. She's in quarantine. Oh my God, man. WrestleMania is going down the tubes because Dana Brooke has been pulled from the fucking show. I'm not watching WrestleMania because Dana Brooke, the five-star machine, is not going to be on WrestleMania. My God, I'm heartbroken that Dana Brooke is not going to be on the show. The match will now suffer because Dana Brooke is not in the match. Maybe she should have taken Tamina Snuka with her. Realistically, though, Dana Brooke sucks. She is awful. One move Dana is Dana Brooke. I hope she gets well. We don't know if she has it, but WWE is taking this with extreme precaution. So she's sick. They're concerned. She's in quarantine. Now, PW Insider is reporting that Dana Brooke was not feeling well and was sent home last week. For anyone wondering, WWE is obviously not giving any details on what her illness might be, so it does not necessarily mean that she has it. Anyone who shows any signs of illness, flu, cold, etc., fever, coughing, whatever it may be, they're being sent home, which is the right thing to do. That's being encouraged to stay home, so that may be the case here. It is also worth noting that Dana Brooke's latest Instagram post from Monday night is of her working out, and she does not mention anything about being ill. So I'm glad to see that she's in good spirits. I'm glad to see that she's doing her thing, working out at home. We don't know if they have her under quarantine for the outbreak. We don't know. She could just have a regular common cold, but they're taking the proper precautions, and this is the right protocol. But again, I wonder if Mysterio is quarantined, you know, what does that mean for everybody else that was involved with Rey Mysterio? Mysterio worked with Andrade. Andrade worked with Garza. Garza and Andrade worked with Cedric and Ricochet. You know, it could be a thing right now that WWE doesn't have any idea what's going on. It could be spreading and they don't know. God forbid. I hope nobody has it. But we'll see what happens. But WWE is taking everything with extreme precaution like they should. So they are in quarantine right now. That is the reason why the United States Championship match was changed to Andrade and Garza versus the Street Profits. Dana Brooke has been removed. Now it's now a fatal five-way of sorts. I don't care. You know? Dana Brooke was removed from the match. You might as well remove Lacey Evans and Tamina Snuka and fucking whoever else is in that match and just leave it Sasha and Bayley. And even at that point, I probably wouldn't even go that far because Sasha and Bayley do not deserve a empty arena WrestleMania in the ring together for the Women's Championship. So we'll see what happens with that. And I got news on what Sasha and Bayley might be doing when WWE gets back to their regularly scheduled programming. Just as a refresher here, SmackDown taped shows on 3/21 and 3/22. NXT content was also taped that same day, which I'm assuming tonight is a taped show. Live Raw happened on Monday. 3:30 and 4/6 WrestleMania episodes will be taped. I don't know when they were taped. They might have been taped on Tuesday, but as of Wednesday, WrestleMania matches will be they will be taped Wednesday and Thursday. So WWE's schedule for tapings is unbelievably hectic and crazy. So it's going to be interesting to see what WWE does as far as how the shows are being presented. Their ratings have been awful. Do they change things up? How is NXT going to look tonight? with Triple H sitting down with Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. Should be interesting to say the least. Now, NXT Takeover was canceled. It was axed, done, not even taking place. So NXT Takeover Tampa was scheduled to take place on April 4th. We got a 2-day WrestleMania. It's too big for one night. Too much garbage for one night. However, it was postponed. Now, Justin Barrasso of Sports Illustrated reported on Tuesday, the planned matches that we are expecting to take place at TakeOver, or were expecting to take place at TakeOver, will air over the next month in April on episodes of NXT on the USA Network. This will start on the April 1st episode, which clearly, if Winter Park and Orange County is locked down, clearly this will not be happening. So this was the plan. I'm giving you guys the updated. This is why I wanted to get this video out now, today. April 1st was supposed to be the start of spreading out the TakeOver matches on NXT TV. It was noted that the announcement was to be expected to be made by Triple H tonight on NXT. Now, clearly, if they tape the show, I don't even know if it's live. I guarantee it's not live. NXT and Triple H tonight was supposed to have the announcement. They either removed that announcement and they come up with a plan C, being that this was plan B, being that the show was canceled. Now, WWE had a series of TV tapings on Sunday from Full Sail to tape content for the next few weeks on WWE Television. NXT was included in that. It is likely that some of these TakeOver matches were already taped during that session. Prior to the postponement, the announcement of these TakeOver matches happening spread across the entire month. We had the ladder match with Chelsea Green, Mia Yim, Tegan Knox. They were already in that match. Tommaso Ciampa versus Johnny Gargano. Adam Cole defending his title against the Velveteen Dream. And Keith Lee making a title defense, I'm assuming, against Donovan Dijakovic and Cameron Grimes and Damian Priest in a fatal four-way. Now, what does NXT do if they are not allowed to tape? They wait it out. They wait it out. So, NXT is taking place tonight. They're taking place tonight. What is taped, or what is in the can, is Matt Riddle versus Roderick Strong, Johnny Gargano, Tommaso Ciampa, answer to Triple H after destroying the Performance Center. Adam Cole has a special message for the fans, which I'm assuming is him bragging that he's the longest reigning NXT champion of all time. Candace LeRae versus Caden Carter, Aaliyah versus Xia Li, and Tyler Breeze versus Austin Theory. Now, Candace LeRae was not originally scheduled to go against Caden Carter. It was Mercedes Martinez and Candace LeRae. Now, we don't know why Mercedes Martinez was pulled. We don't know if she fell ill. We don't know if she's one of those that wanted to just stay away from everything that's going on and self-quarantine because she has kids at home. We don't know. But they pulled her anyway. If it was Mercedes and Candace, I was more than likely going with Mercedes to advance and go to TakeOver. Now that Caden Carter is in, now we get Candace LeRae possibly being in that ladder match for the number one contendership for the Women's Championship. Aaliyah versus Xia Li. This is an interesting match because Xia Li actually broke Aaliyah's nose several months back. So I'm assuming that WWE is going to play up the fact that this is a rematch because Xia Li broke Aaliyah's nose several months back. I like that continuity in NXT. And then Tyler Breeze versus Austin Theory. That should be a great match. And Roddy versus Matt Riddle. That is a rematch. Not only because of Roddy and, you know, the Broserweights feuding. So we got that aspect of it. But it is also a rematch from NXT TakeOver 25 back last year. So that is interesting to say the least. Tyler Breeze and Austin Theory should be a great match. I'm very big on Austin Theory. And Tyler Breeze is a perfect opponent to just bring out the best in Austin Theory. So we do have an NXT show tonight. And again, I don't know what they're doing as far as TakeOver. And they want to spread out these TakeOver matches throughout the month of April. They might not be able to do that, at least immediately. Now, it says it's a 2-week lockdown. It could be more. We don't know. It's all going to be up to the governor's discretion in Orange County in Orlando, Florida. Now, I did want to make mention, a lot of people wanted my opinion on the fact that TakeOver might be spread out over the next couple of weeks. Does it make sense? Absolutely. I don't know when the next TakeOver show would be. I think we got TakeOver Dublin. I don't even know if that's being postponed or canceled. We have no idea what's going on with that. But the next TakeOver, I'm assuming, would be maybe in the middle of the summer, and then we get Takeover Boston, or at this rate, we're not getting another Takeover until possibly Takeover Boston. So just think of it from that point of view. The fact that NXT is spreading out these matches in a plan B of sorts, since they can't do Takeover in Tampa, and they didn't want to reschedule a Takeover show from Full Sail. I like the fact that they're spreading them out across NXT TV. It does a couple of different things for NXT. They are so big on storytelling, it bides them some time before they want to jump back into telling those stories for a possible Takeover Boston, right? You don't want to wait on these matches and have them happen and then leave yourself with barely any build or less build for Takeover in Boston. You want substantial room for build if you're already thinking about Takeover Boston. So I like the fact that they're spreading these out because it buys them time. Over the entire month, you do 1 match per week, 2 matches per week maybe, and they go about doing that. Also, they got slaughtered in the rating. Now, clearly they didn't put on a show, but AEW did. AEW is putting on shows live every single week. NXT knows this. So to combat AEW and to stop AEW from gaining a little bit more momentum with NXT and WWE going through what they're going through, it gives them a reason to combat AEW. So I do like that as well. But the main thing is it bides them time. It spaces everything out so that they don't have to wait on these matches, and they give Takeover Boston ample time for a proper build-up. The one thing I am concerned about, though, is that the Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa feud, it clearly cannot be a regular one-on-one match. I don't know what they're doing with that. I don't know if tonight we get both of them suspended indefinitely and they do hold off on that one match. If there's one match that they could hold off on, it's probably that one. I don't think holding that match is going to diminish it in any way. In fact, it might actually help it because, you know, even though I love both guys and I love the feud, I can watch them wrestle every fucking week. I'm not tired of the feud by any means. I'm sure you guys listening to me are not tired of the feud by any means because it's Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano. They have given you the best ever in NXT. Some of those matches that they produced were some of the best in WWE history. So if they wait on it, is it that big of a deal? No. In fact, it might actually help because a lot of people, though you loved it, some people were like, again? How many times do we got to do this? What's the difference now that the roles are reversed? We've seen it so many times, even though we haven't. It's only 3 times, clowns. Only 3 matches between the two. With a 4th that was scheduled last year at WrestleMania, and that obviously didn't happen. So this is the payoff that they're getting because last year it didn't happen. Think. If they wait, I don't think it's going to diminish the match in any way. What I am worried about is if they do have the match, what type of stipulation match are they going to have? They've had an unsanctioned match. They've had a false count anywhere match. They had a street fight. The fuck are they going to do? A regular steel cage match? That's not really what I want to see from Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa. You got to amp it up. A ladder match? Clearly that's not logical. Doesn't make sense. What are they climbing the ladder to retrieve? Nothing. Maybe a contract. Maybe it's a loser leaves town. You know, who the fuck knows? Maybe they wiggle that in there somehow. Maybe it's a street fight. Maybe it is a unsanctioned brawl. Maybe it's filmed in a different location like the rumored John Cena versus Bray Wyatt match is happening at WrestleMania. Again, we don't know. Everybody's calling for a Hell in a Cell. Everybody's calling for Hell in a Cell. And I do think that if WWE wants to hold off on it, have it happen at Boston, Takeover, SummerSlam weekend, and life gets back to normal here in the United States, and we can gather large numbers of people again and have regular life happening again, I do think that if you wait, a Hell in a Cell match is absolutely feasible. So I don't know. I'm worried about what they're going to do with Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano as far as a stipulation goes, because it's undoubtedly going to need a stipulation. And they've ran through the gauntlet of stipulations. What could you do in front of no audience that's going to make this match stand out and really be the final chapter between these two in NXT? A Hell in a Cell match is the only thing that I would love to see come out of the fucking carnage that those two guys did inside the Performance Center. Lock them in a structure that can contain their carnage. Steel cage matches, we've seen 2 steel cage matches on NXT a couple of weeks ago. I don't want to see it. It's boring. It's overdone. They've ran the gauntlet of steel cage matches through the ground already. Give me something that could possibly bring back the meaning and the fucking appeal of Hell in a Cell. And being that Hell in a Cell has not been announced this year on the pay-per-view calendar, maybe that is what they have in mind for Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, and that will be the only Hell in a Cell match we get this year. Certainly calls for it, certainly deserves it. So we'll see what happens, man. Tonight's NXT is going to be very, very interesting. And finally, guys, ESPN broadcasted WrestleMania 30, and the rating is in for WrestleMania 30 on ESPN. 839,000 viewers. This marked the highest-rated show on ESPN for the weekend. It should be noted that there are no live sporting events in North America right now, which is part of the reason why this deal came together. The show averaged a 0.31 rating in the 18 to 49 demo and finished 30 for the night on cable. The show drew 839,000 viewers from 7 p.m. to 11 p.m. It was the highest-rated show on the network for the entire weekend, but given that they did not have much competition with no live sporting events anywhere, the number can't be considered a success for WWE. The number is less than what most live sports draw on the network in prime time, including most XFL games. This show was held on April 6, 2014. Featured Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker, John Cena versus Bray Wyatt. Undertaker had a concussion, so I don't really blame him on the match. That was obviously garbage. Cena versus Bray Wyatt was terrible. And Daniel Bryan obviously winning the WWE Championship over Randy Orton and Batista after beating Triple H in the beginning of the show. That was the only reason to watch that show. WrestleMania 32 will air on March 29th at 7 p.m. and WrestleMania 35 will air on Sunday, April 5th. Man, oh man, they're airing WrestleMania 32, one of the worst WrestleManias of all time, with one of the worst main events in WrestleMania history, Triple H and Roman Reigns. WrestleMania 35, outside Kofi Kingston, I don't give a shit. I really don't. The belief is that ESPN airing previous WrestleMania events is to fill airtime due to the outbreak that is going on. Clearly, it is. It also is a possible precursor for WWE to maybe be in bed with ESPN about selling their pay-per-view services or streaming rights to ESPN, and we will see what happens with that. I do have some minor news on that come the weekend, but I've seen a lot of people touting, well, this is great for a show that's 6 years old, right? This is great for a show that aired back in 2014. There's nothing on. What do you expect sports fiends to watch? I don't understand you people. 839,000 viewers is a good rating on ESPN at 7 p.m.? If that is not a just glaring fucking statistic, and that doesn't tell you where the mindset is of people in today's day and age when it comes to pro wrestling, I don't know what does. WWE, all this tells me is two things. Number one, WWE has a loyal fan base. A loyal fan base that will watch anything that they do. Anything that they do. 2 million people weekly for Raw, 2 million people weekly for SmackDown. You could put on fucking someone taking a steaming pile of dog shit in the ring, and these people will watch it. That's what it says to me, that the WWE audience is fucking brainwashed. They had no competition here. So why are you boasting about an 839,000 viewership on Sunday night for WrestleMania? And it also tells me that ESPN is stupid. Honestly. How are you? This is my second point that I'm trying to make. I'm getting out of here. Why would they opt to show WrestleMania 30? Now, I loved it. I loved the beginning and the end. Everything else in the middle was fucking complete garbage. But why would WWE, or ESPN rather, why would they show WrestleMania 30? If you want to possibly grab the casual fan, right? Are you going to sit down somebody who might not know who Bray Wyatt is, or Daniel Bryan, or whoever else was on that show, right? Cesaro winning the Battle Royal, eliminating the Big Show. That was another great WrestleMania moment from that show. Why wouldn't they buy some of those documentaries on the WWE Network, like those 24 documentaries or a day in the life or behind the scenes of something, right? How many WrestleMania 24 documentaries did they do? Now, it's only an hour block, but they could have bought a whole slew of them. They got Becky Lynch, Ronda Rousey, they got Seth Rollins, they got Sasha Banks, they got WrestleMania, this, right? SummerSlam, this. Why don't they go about promoting the individual superstar, giving you a real-life look into them, possibly building investment on those particular events and those particular superstars, instead of airing a fucking long, drawn-out, very subpar WrestleMania show that could easily lose anybody's interest? You know? You'd be watching this and you'd be like, what the fuck's going on? Who is this? Who's that? Who's this? Why am I caring about this? Why am I watching this? Right? Some of these people watching the show might not even know what was going on going into the show. I honestly do think that if WWE sold their documentaries, which are some of the best shit that WWE does out of anybody, period, in any sports league, some of the best stuff that you'll watch documentary-wise, period, why they didn't sell that to ESPN, or why ESPN wasn't interested in that, and use that as a way to sell WrestleMania this year. What is this show going to do? What is WrestleMania 32 going to do? What is WrestleMania 35 going to do? My God, could you pick any 3 WrestleManias that are going to fucking do the opposite of what you want to do? They're going to drive people away from the fucking product. Why would you watch WrestleMania 32 and then be compelled to watch WrestleMania this year? I would be thinking, man, if this show is this fucking boring, why am I going to watch this year's version? And you watched the show. I watched the ending. I watched the Battle Royal. I watched the Bray Wyatt, John Cena match again. And I watched, don't know why, I was drinking, so maybe that could be a testament to what I was doing for my evening. And then I watched the main event with Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton and Batista. And you've seen the plugs for WrestleMania 36 in there, right? You've seen it being plugged. But I don't know why they didn't do the other thing and opted to show this. It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense. And then you got the elitists and the fucking analysts, right? Oh, this is a great number. The fuck were they going up against? What were they going up against? Property Brothers? What were they going up against? Fucking Guy Fieri Showdown on Food Network? Give me a break. Give me a break. There's nothing on. There's nothing on. Like the report said, this cannot be looked at as a success for WWE. 839,000 viewers watching a 6-year-old show. Awful. I will not give them any credit, man. There's always a better option when it comes to WWE. They always go with the option instead of doing what could be critically praised. I would much rather watch a documentary than watch a fucking 6-hour WrestleMania show. That's just me. Guys, I'm getting out of here. Gave you an off the script on your Wednesdays. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below. Follow me on social media at JDfromNY206 on Twitter and Instagram. I'll be live tweeting tonight for Dynamite. I am still in the process of getting a watch along. I got to get my beverages all lined up. Watch along on Twitch for a old classic WrestleMania. Don't know which one I'm going with. I may do something. I may do WrestleMania 9. WrestleMania 9 from the Las Vegas Caesars Coliseum. Right? Brett and Yoko, Giant Gonzalez, and The Undertaker. Should be fun times, right? I don't know. We'll figure it out. I might have a poll on Twitter, but I am thinking about possibly live streaming a watch along with you guys on Twitch. I want to gather all you off-the-script goons and just make fun of it. Oh, have fun. Make fun of it and have fun with it and drink and have fun with it all. And maybe we'll do that for the next couple of Saturdays leading up to WrestleMania. So we'll see what happens. Just follow me on Twitter for all the updated information. Again, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button down below, and I will see you guys tonight. I might have a special guest on AEW Dynamite tonight. Who is it? We don't know yet. I know who it might or might not be, but I might have a guest tonight on the AEW Dynamite review, so I'll see you guys tonight for Dynamite, and then not sure if there will be an NXT review because there really isn't much going on, but we'll see what happens and how I feel tomorrow. But other than that, guys, take care. And I will see you all tonight for AEW Dynamite and All Delete Wrestling. See you guys later.